forestry coming? No.
I did not stop up there. I do not know. Guess nobody's here. We got no public here so far, so, okay, the first item on the agenda.
I do have one public if I can.
What we're gonna do, approve minutes first.
Okay.
So you guys, there's a lot of action there on the minutes from last month. Did you guys have a chance to read? I mean, is that all correct? If so, I guess entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
No second.
Okay, got a motion and a second to approve the minutes as presented. Any additions or corrections? Additions or corrections? If not, all those in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, public comment.
Wasn't really, because it wasn't on the agenda or anything. It was a discussion that we had last meeting or the meeting before, talking about some whips and that kind of, you know, the machine's getting bigger and everything. I did do a little bit of, not really investigation, but looking. All the manufacturers, 151 different models that are made between the four big ones, Can-Am, Polaris, Yamaha, and Honda. 151 units at a 50-inch rule, only 3 of them would be under that width
In the side by side.
in the side by side.
Yeah.
So, and of those 3, 2 of them are youth models that the
Mhm.
children aren't even allowed to drive across the road. So, other counties are 65 to 66.
Mm-hmm. I
I
guess
don't
I,
need to do all that research. You probably could just put that into Grok AI or something.
I went shopping.
less than 50 inches.
Yes. And the one that is there is being discontinued. It's a Can-Am. It's being discontinued. It all kind of stems back to Yamaha remember when Honda took a big hit in the industry for the 3-wheelers and all the
Mhm.
lawsuits?
Yeah.
Yamaha took an extremely big one for all 4 manufacturers with the Yamaha Rhino, and you are never going to see anything under 63 to 64 from any
Tip
manufacturer.
over too easy.
They tip over. Trust me, from someone that owned a Rhino.
So you mentioned different width that they're going to, or are there other?
65 and 66 is what I've seen.
Well, when they go to 66 inches, they're illegal. 65 inches is the width
65 is state.
state.
The other public comment?
Nice to see you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Glad you can make it, Kathy.
This last
No. Okay, first item on the agenda, updates to any ongoing trail projects, trail improvements, or grant applications. I don't know if anything's been done off the end of North Bergseth there. We need to check that out and ask forestry about that, because
I'm guessing not, or we would know.
yeah, I totally agree. The summer is fast coming to an end for getting projects done. And the bridge. Yeah, where's that stand, Kathy? Is nothing, anything been decided?
We get to it on our last agenda, so it's still,
Okay, so any,
it's still in process. I think.
the stuff that you didn't get to last meeting just goes to next meeting? Okay.
I mean, I think they were working on getting it removed and leaving the footers and stuff like that, but I don't really know the status of it. But it was one of the things that we didn't get to.
Then that's gonna need to be rebid and the whole deal, right?
I, not necessarily,
Okay,
and I'm still not sure what I'm on, I don't get the rules, like, you know, what I'm allowed to talk about, what I'm not allowed to talk about.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Very
But-
understandable.
Yeah.
so I guess we'll just stay tuned on that
Yeah,
one. See what-
it's not, it's on the radar, it's actively monitored on the radar, but it's right now kind of caught in some other. Yeah. It didn't make it high enough on the list to.
Yeah,
My opinion, I would certainly think that they wouldn't take it out until they have one to put in. Knowing the area
Oh,
It's
right.
and the fact that if there's no bridge there, they're just gonna run 100 yards to the east and then they're gonna drive through the Weregor.
Cut through that
That's what they did prior to a bridge.
to the bridge, yeah,
So we don't want them in the water.
right, that's for sure.
That's why it's
So it makes sense to have the bridge, new bridge built and there
Ready to go.
and go like this. So it's a real short window and the time of the year could come into play there.
Right.
So they're gonna have to make a whole new bridge then, or
Yeah,
that's the plan, I think, so right at this point.
that's the feedback I'm getting.
And then I know they were trying to do as much, you know, in-house, obviously, as they could too, so that was a factor into it.
One thing I suggested to Jared is if in fact we are gonna take that bridge out, maybe what would make sense is cut it in half and use the two halves someplace else if we can,
cost
That's a good idea.
you know, instead of just trashing it, you know, there's, 'cause that's 100 foot, that's a big span.
That's 250-foot bridges.
Yeah, exactly.
I already know where one of them can go. Seriously.
And you can find a spot for the other one, sure.
the guy has use for it. Rebuild it, do whatever they have to do.
Right. Well, the one that went over Spring Creek on the Murray Trail, that was taken out from one of the county highways. And then got reused there.
Those are all good comments for public comment.
We're not in public.
No, I mean.
Talking about permitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next Tuesday.
Yeah,
It's next Tuesday already, right?
it will be next Tuesday, right around the corner.
I gotta take notes here too, so that's what I'm doing.
Mhm.
You don't know about replacing our committee member that,
So they were gonna check to see whether or not we could pull from
the old bucket or.
the last list, or if it had to be proposed. So hopefully we can just nominate somebody off of who was on the list before.
Any other thing on ongoing projects or what's been any action on the ski trail area on the new trail? Have you guys noticed anything or?
Appears they probably came in and bulldozed a whole pile of stuff around the Audie Lake.
Toward the electric line.
I thought they were gonna go up over the bank there where the electric line goes up on top, but they cut into that parking lot and paralleled 50 yards off the Audie Lake Road. They paralleled it and made an all-new trail.
So there's some action on it apparently.
That's not logging, I know that much.
Mhm.
Which that was their intentions of what they're trying to do, trying to police that is going to be worse. Yeah,
Hey, Phil? Okay, anything else? Okay, the next item, discuss current trail signage and placing of signs and possible wording added to improve clarity. I put that on the agenda and what I'm getting at there, I know there's been some discussion from some people in the past where you got a dead end trail you know, you got a nice trail and then you got a creek crossing or whatever, it's a green sign out at the beginning of the trail, you know,
Oh,
you're,
it says dead end.
well, okay, it'll say dead end. But when you get to where the creek crossing is or whatever, there's just a red diamond. And that's all there is. And I know there's been discussion where a lot of people may not know what that means, that the trail actually ends there. So maybe we should have some wording that also goes on those posts that says trail ends here or something. Just to make it a little bit more obvious. I don't know. I know there's been some discussion along those lines, so I'd throw it out there.
Has there been a specific issue? Yeah.
Well, the day that Mike and I were up and rode, this is the one, south of Dijung, was it? North of Dijung. Just north of Pigeon Creek. And then we went into the east. And that's a trail that's green and goes in there to the east. And it's kind of a nice trail. And then you get to the first little creek, which was pretty much dried up. We didn't go any farther than that. But on the map, there's a whole bunch of wetlands in that area. And then all of a sudden it's a green trail again and it goes down to Jung Road. So how do you know where to stop and where not?
So it's basically open.
Open on
both
both sides,
sides.
but it's closed in the middle. So are they stopping? No. And we talked about getting back up in there and coming up from both directions just to see how bad it is. I think that there needs to be a better signage, printed signage.
Clarity.
Yes, that actually states that no ATVs
Yeah,
and include UTVs, because I hear that argument from guys.
Right. it
But
has
you
no
can't be in
motorized
here.
traffic.
It says no ATVs. Yeah, but I've got a UTV. Well, the law says ATVs is the same as
The sign.
UTVs. But that's their argument back. Well, I've got a UTV. Yeah, so it's gotta be worded that's both. And it says,
Motorized vehicle is
Motorized.
pretty much.
well, that would be
Sums it up.
another way to put it too.
Yeah.
No motorized vehicles beyond this point.
Sum it up both ways.
Unfortunately, on the little diamonds we have, that's
They're
gonna
not big
be,
enough.
Well, what you could do though, those
Get another.
posts have, you know, 50 more holes.
yeah, that's true.
Just get a sign,
Rectangle one or something.
yeah, rectangular sign and whatever wording you want on it and just bolt that underneath the red diamond. I think that would be an easy fix in
Bob, I will ask, so you guys went up there, did you actually see where you stopped, that it was turning to something you didn't feel comfortable?
Well, where we stopped, there was a water hole right there that then it dropped down and here was the little creek.
The only reason I ask is I have seen.
And I don't know how deep that water hole
Right,
was.
no, that's fair. I have seen a lot of things on the map that will show water, and
Mhm.
That's where you stop.
it doesn't exist. I mean,
Mhm. Well,
So,
Rod and I saw that last
Yep.
year too. So that's why we need to get back in there. Years ago, I was across it, but I'm talking 20 years ago. And there was a big beaver dam in there. And they were going in and running their machines through and then having to drain the water out of them from here and there, and whatever. So,
I think what leads to confusion is, so on the big yellow signs, you have, the legend of what each of the diamonds mean. And of course, red means dead end. Well, if you think of a regular vehicle of traffic dead end sign, the dead end sign is always at the beginning and, at the intersection, and it says the road dead ends somewhere past this sign. And, from an enforcement standpoint, even if there was a red sign right at that closed section, I don't think it's enforceable because all it means is dead end. It doesn't mean you can't travel past this point. So I think, having more clear and concise signage that says trail ends, or, to be more particular, probably should say no motorized traffic, have a sign that does say that.
Yeah, well, it covers both and.
Yeah.
it's
Right.
pretty much
motorized
clear.
vehicle beyond this point.
Self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's clear.
Well, you wouldn't need very many of them either.
No, I don't think
No,
we would need too many, except for, well, there's a couple areas where,
Well, I'm sitting here counting going, oh boy,
There's a lot.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just look, if you actually, you don't have to right now, you pull up the map and you.
There's a lot in our
yeah, over in your
block,
block.
for sure.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it to be like a problem. you
Yeah.
know, where-
Most
Well, for
people
the
say
most part.
stop.
Well, and we just don't get the traffic that you guys. do.
Yeah, and what,
That's what I was gonna say, for the most part, we don't get the traffic over there. When we get traffic, it's during hunting season.
And I hate to say it, yeah. The traffic that we get, the people probably aren't gonna pay attention to that anyways. 'Cause
well, I'm not arguing with that matter either.
Yeah.
it's somebody going to get a deer out or hunting or
Mhm.
whatever.
It kind of goes like this. If one person drives down at one time, the next guy is like, well, let's see where this goes. Let's see where this goes. And
So
within,
you know, it's 20 feet more.
within a
20 feet
week,
more,
it's
80 feet
just,
yeah, see, we don't, our trails might see 2 or 3 wheelers a year.
I bet you
Mhm.
over half of them don't see any.
Yes.
I'll bet you're right.
I bet I seen
Probably
20
100.
today.
So I guess what I was getting at by saying we didn't need that many of them is, I don't know that I would just be flying out there, putting them up on all our dead end trails, because if it's not an issue,
Well, and I don't know that they need to be put up until there is an issue.
and yeah, and that's what, I mean, if we got 10 of them right now, you know, we could put a couple on the,
Right.
on the spots where it is an issue, and then we've got some in our pocket if,
Right.
you know, if you need.
Like one spot I can think of is where Sullivan Creek is. That
Mhm.
would be a good spot for
Yeah.
one, because that's a nice trail going through there, and that's gonna see a little more traffic.
And technically, and we've talked about this before too, I mean, I think the map is supposed to be the gospel, because
Mhm.
signs, I mean, they could tip over, you know, in the spring, or people run them over and stuff, so the map is kind of
Mhm.
supposed to be the gospel anyways, but if there is a problem
area.
spot,
Mhm.
might as well do what you can to mitigate the problems.
There's areas in the Blue Hills, that they've been running it for as long as they've had machines in the woods. So they went from ATVs to UTVs, and even though they're a red trail or even signs up that say it's closed, they go in there anyway.
They do it there.
Like the creek crossing, corridor crossing we talked about, I'm sure it's still being used. So,
So weren't you guys gonna recommend places for targeted enforcement? That would be helpful.
well, it'd be nice to be able to get Bert here to one of our
Yeah, who are we
meetings.
supposed to recommend it to? 'Cause
Well, you can recommend it to us, I mean, and then we can forward it on to the sheriff's
So,
department, but we talked about
Person that
putting,
can stay up there.
we talked about putting cameras up, right, in certain places, and, I mean, you know, if we tell them, we want you to focus on this area or these 2 or 3 areas, instead of you guys aren't doing enough enforcement, you know, let's call the bluff or whatever, you know, let's try some cameras, let's try whatever, if you've got 2 or 3 areas where you think more signage, more presence, more, you know, a camera, that would be a helpful action item to,
I can tell you what happens in most cameras, people see them smash them.
well, there are cameras out there, and the forestry department had them years ago already. That here was the camera in the box,
Mhm.
and it's taking your picture, and as soon as it snaps a picture, it sends it out to the other camera. So you can destroy this one, but they've got you on the camera destroying it. They already know who you are.
or you have a dummy obvious camera and another one that's not as obvious, you know.
I'm not gonna be there taking pictures. I'm the dummy.
One of the issues that did happen was even when trails were closed, this was a couple of years ago, people being caught on them and they wouldn't prosecute.
Right, but we do have a different district attorney now than we did before.
Yeah.
And again, you know, so they say no, you go back and ask again, they say no, you come back and ask again.
Mhm.
You know, be painted, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, and so they said no before, let's ask again, and again, and again, and again. So they they get the message, it's a priority.
Right. Now, the other thing with the cameras, because I had suggested this years ago on that Weirgore crossing, let's put cameras here. Because if they're crossing and they know they're not supposed to cross the Weirgore, it's illegal. And then the forester said, well, yeah, but you can't prosecute them. I said, what do you mean you can't prosecute them? Well, you have to prove that they intentionally went across.
You got a sign says.
Well, how does that make sense? If they went across, they intended on going across. Right, so then they
Yeah,
get a
there's the
ticket,
sign.
right?
But didn't these things happen under a different forester and a
Oh, yeah.
different sheriff and a different district attorney? So why not run the flagpole again?
Good point.
Mhm.
Pick a spot or two spots.
Yep.
That are high priorities and then, you know, the word gets out too, right? That, you
Well,
know,
they should.
being
They
cracked
didn't on
down.
a big sign say up to $1,000 fine for
Yeah.
destruction of trails, blah, blah. At least get a monetary value on it, maybe they'll think a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you know that
Yeah,
Yeah.
something
this
like
is,
that.
this isn't just an advisement, this
It's
is.
it's just consequences.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if they get
They can
fined,
try and keep strategy.
that's
And
one
word
way
will
of
get out.
warning. Right, and education costs money, right?
Exactly.
Right, so,
Or can your license be suspended?
yeah, no, that part can't.
But it's something to deter them.
Yes, it is. It is, and I would like to see more fines go out to some of these people. Now, again, like Brent said, a few years ago, they were in on the trails early. There were 6 machines. And so they wrote one ticket for 6 guys, because the other ones will all learn, or you can chip in and help pay his fine. And I was not happy with that. There should have been 6 tickets written.
Yes.
And that word would have got around a lot faster.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, on that Facebook site, if you're on Facebook, let's,
Which half your person boarded.
yeah, probably, yeah.
Seems like people always tell you it's on there, so you don't actually have to be on there.
Well, I can tell you that in April already, they're looking for where they can ride.
Oh, yeah.
And when they heard that Rusk County was open,
They were
May
tearing
1st, not just the gravel trails and everything, what goes out there to everybody is
Everywhere.
the trails are open on May 1st. So that means Rusk County's wide open. That never should have happened. Never should have happened. So, because they're all over the place.
The Blue Hills area obviously would be the place to focus on some of that.
Yes,
I mean,
that's where we need the signage, is in the Blue Hills area.
Bert could spend full time over east and not catch anybody because there's just anybody to
Yeah.
catch.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, that Blue Hills area is where we would need to focus, I think for sure.
I've been at my cabin every day for the last 10 days. And I haven't seen a wheeler out, aside from me being on my property. So I haven't seen one go by.
Wow.
The parking lot on F,
Warehouse for school, Cenex.
yep, parking lot on F today at
100 a day
before
at
noon,
least.
there's probably 20 machines parked there.
Wow.
It ain't counting what goes to Red Rock.
Right,
I mean, it gets
Owned.
and I've said this before, I still believe it's calming down. It's a lot more older, retired people putting. The weekend that the ATV club had their ride out of Red Rock, that was a racetrack up there. Saturday afternoon was dangerous. And of course, a little bit too with Labor Day weekend.
one of the feedbacks that I have gotten on riding is the foresters are talking about less machines on the trails because more people just want to ride on the roads.
Agreed, but that's where I do see a lot. But the ones that are on the trails want to make sure they leave a mark on the trail. And not everyone. I mean.
I don't
but-
want to be there on the weekends. I will on the 27th, but otherwise, no.
Do we ever get any clarification about pulling a vehicle off the road? Talk about that for 2 years.
We asked that question repeatedly and no one will give us an answer on that.
I mean, we just, they say the fleet wheels, somebody's got to do something to it. It's burnt a few times, you pull off and use some or each tickets, it's burnt.
Kathy understands what we're talking
Just
about
pull it
here.
off of-
Okay, so you're up
off of me.
on the county line. It doesn't make any difference if you're in the east
East, west.
block up here or there. Okay, so you're on one of the forest roads and you're gonna hunt. And here's one of the red trails that's going in here, and it's red because down here is a creek. But it's high and dry
So why can't you park along the side of the road?
It's not wide enough.
because the
Not
road
wide
is that
enough.
narrow. So
Logging trucks will, yeah.
if you pull in to that driveway for no better term,
Did we
so
say-
that your truck is off the road, that's what we keep coming back with this.
And you get a ticket.
Can you get a ticket? Well, according to Birch, you can,
Yeah.
because that's trail closed.
I've witnessed people have gotten them.
Right, and
And I'm talking being parked
One
off the
lady
main
picking
road from me
blackberries.
to you.
One truck.
Yeah, like I know when we go, we always park on the side of the road
Mhm.
before we enter in.
But like Excelsior Road, Three Lakes Road, Hill Trail 4, any of them,
You park there, you're.
there ain't room for a truck to park on the side
Yeah.
and a log truck.
You wanna know what happened to me one time I was parking on the side of the road?
I got hit.
I got sniped. I'm lucky to be alive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It totaled my truck and the truck that was parked in front of me. They hit me so hard.
wow.
Now,
It's just common sense.
a simple fix could have been.
Yeah.
Just to pull off. The reason I got hit is because there was 3 vehicles following each other and it was really dusty. And they
Yeah,
were
you couldn't see.
following so close. The first person went by. The second person, she just nipped me. It busted off her mirror on the dog box on my truck. And then, she panicked and went in the ditch.
Oh, geez.
And then the third person, I
See it coming.
it was 20 some years ago. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah,
I
but-
could see the running lights in the van coming. I just went and he smoked.
Wow, dude, yeah.
And that's a fairly wide road. So
And then some of the roads, what doesn't help is the road may be so wide, but the vegetation
Yeah.
creeps in where basically it's a single lane road. So that like, hauling a camper up to Perch Lake, it finally got brushed out this year or maybe last fall, I'm not sure, but that was so narrow, I don't know what 2 vehicles, especially if you're hauling a camper up to Perch Lake, what you would do, because it's so narrow and overgrown.
So 2 problems I see with letting you just pull in and park there is how many people does that accommodate, right? Because you can't use like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars. Like what is the limit at a time of how many can pull in? Because like you just talked about 2 people that being there. So if you can pull in, how far are people gonna, because some of those spots are pretty popular, right? And not all spots are created equal, right? So if we change the policy and say, yeah, you could pull off and park
Mhm.
beyond the red.
Well, actually, we're not
Like in
even
that
talking,
spot.
okay, so
Not even talking red.
not in red, all
any spot,
trails.
okay,
Right.
Yep.
But then how many, like only 1 car? So if you
Mhm.
come and then there's already a car there, then you gotta go someplace else to
Yep.
park
That's what I would say.
or park on the side of the road.
or park on the side of the road, right?
Agreed.
But.
Yeah.
And some spots you can pull in and it's fine, and other spots, like, our Polgar Road, the very beginning of it is the only problem on that whole
Mhm.
trail. So if that's the one where you come in and you park, that's the worst possible place to park on that whole stretch.
Yep.
Now there's a little parking area, but again, you can't make how do you make one policy that works for all of these locations?
Well, and then there's gotta be a lot of common sense, not only for the person that's parking,
Right?
The officers,
but
yeah.
the officer also.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So, but remember, we're talking out both sides of our mouth. Like the previous discussion was there's not enough enforcement. And now we're
Yeah.
saying that he's enforcing.
So we just want
Too
some
much.
clarity in
Right.
this situation.
Yeah, that clarity is the key word.
And common sense.
Yeah,
Discretion.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
But,
pull-
yeah, if one guy
Yeah.
pulls in there and parks,
When
and
was
you
last
come
time?
and that's where you wanted to park and he's parked there, I guess you're gonna go find someplace
Somewhere
else.
park,
Yeah.
because that park is by the state.
And
Right.
there,
When was the
most-
last time somebody got a ticket for that? Hey, Connie, welcome. Oh, thanks.
And actually, that does fall under,
You drink your Red Bull?
it falls under the county forestry comprehensive plan. You know, because the comprehensive plan covers not only timber harvest, but public access for the lands and making the lands accessible. You know, accessibility is in the comprehensive plan for the forestry department. You know, so that's another item that should be considered, you know, whether it's hunting, hiking, mountain biking, bird watching, whatever the case may be. You know, public access is in the comprehensive plan, and, you know, that should be taken under consideration as well.
So when was the last time you know of somebody actually getting ticketed for that?
This spring. Individual got one off of DeYoung's. And there was
And it
no
was for
more,
parking on the trail.
no more than trail that's completely green, wide open, beautiful, UTV, everything backed off. And, was visible, still looking down the road. But yeah, they did. I have to take that back. They tried to give him a ticket, but they let him out of that one and they gave him one for an insurance violation, which you know what, he had that coming.
So we got a warning
Right.
for parking not on the road.
I say you just want some clarity, so it's kind of uniform.
mm-hmm.
to me, it seems.
It's no.
So how many do you, if we change the policy or whatever, how many vehicles do you want?
So that's probably not- And most of these people are hunting. Bear hunting is about the only thing that is a group activity.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go up there grouse hunting, I see a truck parked there, I'm gonna keep going.
For safety, you're going somewhere else.
Yeah, safety or they're bow hunting,
Yep.
whatever, I don't wanna.
Out of respect.
Like, when my husband goes, he goes with my brother-in-law and my stepson, and like, they take 4 trucks to the same spot.
So
They can't ride
if the
together.
trail is suitable for the one guy to pull off, the one guy pulls off, and then there's 2 trucks on the side. You know,
Right?
I understand what you're saying, but I think we're like overthinking it a little bit, like, you know what I mean? Well,
But if they think it's okay to park on the trail, then they're all 4 vehicles, they're gonna all park on the trail.
and if the trail is suitable and
But who's making that determination?
they
We're
don't
saying-
get stuck, if they don't get stuck parking there, it's probably suitable to park there.
And about the only other item to consider is if it's a green sign trail or a white diamond trail,
You're blocking the trail.
you're blocking, you know, if you're gonna park or, you
Yeah.
know, if there was gonna be a change in the ordinance, the language would have to include that, okay, yes, you can park here, however, you can't block it, another full-size vehicle has to pass, you know, so emergency services or whatever the case may be. If it gets to that point.
Yeah.
Okay,
So this common sense.
all right. I think we've talked about that quite a bit.
Yes.
Next item,
There's a lot of game warden stuff, talk about intent. What is, they look at intent. What's their intent? Are they trying to get off the road to be safe? Okay. Are they trying to abuse the system? No.
okay, next item, discuss trail conditions, any needed repairs or improvements, signage updates, and any inspection updates or changes to classification.
So.
I have not either. Probably in 2 weeks, I'll be out if anybody has any trails up on the hills that they have in mind that need inspection, I could go check those out.
I just sent, Dane this morning a couple of trails I actually inspected a month ago, and I didn't include last month's, but, and it's into Polgar Road, only across the creek and to the west. I did a couple of those trails, and, I mean, they're open to ATV, UTV, they're fine. They just, I just did a reinspection, no change in status. I sent those to, Dane, and that was, GL 328 and GL 113. So that's all I've done. But yeah, I mean, if you guys have a chance, I know everybody's busy. There's hunting season now. There's all kinds of stuff going on, but if you can sneak a few more inspections in before, ground gets hard here.
And I guess one item to note is, again, if from forestry, if we can come up with some plan on what has been inspected and what, that, because I don't think we received anything yet.
No, I'll ask Dane about that. Yeah.
For us, it'd be easier to go block to block to block.
Well, at this point, there's a lot that hasn't been inspected, so I mean, it's pretty much a green light to do most anything. So, but yeah, that's it. It's a good point moving forward.
Yeah, especially if, if he could, I know that you can't do a lot, in that app for notations, but I think, I think he could put, somebody from forestry could, just put, some type of marker next to the trail, like a red marker or whatever. So when we're in that inspection app, then we'd know, oh, well, this one needs, it's been a while. We really should get out and inspect this one. I think
Even
that,
an asterisk.
yeah, anything,
Excellent, right?
yeah, anything to note. And then if we do that, then we should let each other know, that we've taken care of that one.
As long as it's on this level and not, as far as the app.
Right, yeah.
And signage is another deal. I know Mike got some signs today. There's some signs that we're missing out there that we probably should get up if we get a chance. And, the signs are all down at the county shop down there. At the forestry's got a little spot in the building down there. If you know where it is, it's, closest to Walmart, but it's on the other side of trees, and there's posts there. The office has got the signs. You can get a hold of Dane or Jared, and, they could hook you up with some posts and some signs. And if you have a chance to get, put some up, feel free.
I've even had them drop them off at the Birch Lake Audi Lake Campground on a Saturday morning when one of them comes up to clean the bathrooms or something.
Sure.
They dropped them off for me.
Yep. I mean, they're very, very willing to work with you that way to get you what you need. So, okay, anything else on that? The next item kind of goes with that. I guess field verified trails ready for acceptance for status verification. Like I said, those couple trails I did, we don't need to do anything because there's no change. It's just a reinspection. So anybody got anything new? That doesn't sound like it. Okay. 12 months for that.
Felt like we hit forestry with enough last month.
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys are complaining we didn't get to the rest of the agenda.
Connie was running out of ink.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't make a habit of that.
Yeah.
Well.
Blame it on the
usually
new
would have
guys.
been too, But we had a short meeting, so that's.
Yeah.
Why it got complicated.
Well, we do need to hit so many trails though in a year's time or whatever, so we do need to do a fair amount. Next item, trail inspection process responsibility, using the inspection app. Anybody got any questions on what we're supposed to be doing? I think, has everybody used the app?
So we got my most of the.
Okay.
He might try a couple of times a day, but get hold of it to finish it off.
The app is not hard to use. The only
Once-
thing is getting the pictures to
Yeah,
download.
once you've done it a few times, yeah, right.
We got to get that picture thing figured out. And, and like Dane said, maybe if you take the app off and reinstall it, it will work. But
Well, I've taken the pictures and then taking them back out of my phone, not taking the pictures while I'm
In
doing
the
it
app.
in the app.
And that's what I've done, and I've had difficulty, because Dane's like, well, you can just email it to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
they're in the app.
I haven't had a problem pulling them back out of my phone.
Right.
They never, it does, if I'm in the app and I take the picture, it doesn't go to my gallery or my folders or anything.
Right.
It's in the app.
Yeah. No, I've done it where I've just taken the picture and then you can text it to Dane later.
Mhm.
Problem is, if you do more than one trail and you wait more than a day
Yeah,
or whatever, then
Right,
it's,
which picture goes where?
It,
this morning I sent him the wrong picture. And then I realized I did, and I went back and corrected it and sent it, and I said, no, this is the right picture. So, so there's that issue.
that is the one nice thing about the app, because they're tied to the location.
Yeah.
So it makes, I
Yes.
think it makes it, Dane's very good, but I think it makes it easier for them too,
Mhm.
on their end.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's probably some bugs that need to be worked out of that system a little bit yet, but as a rule, I think that app probably works pretty darn well. I think
Mhm.
it's probably great for Dane. So,
It took a while to get the bumps out of the road on the first couple that we tried, but yeah, I think this one is working.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so.
the only question I have when I get to that last screen
Yeah.
is the reinspection. How many of those boxes
Yeah.
do you check? And I think
Right.
we're all doing it different, which I don't know. I don't know what's right, what's wrong, but because I guess the easy thing would be check them all, but when I look at them, they don't all necessarily apply. So I think you guys know what I'm talking about, don't you? On, should this trail be re-inspected, or should it be checked for any ruts, or I don't know, there's about
Mhm.
5 different statements and boxes there.
Mhm.
That could be maybe made a little bit more simpler or clarified, or
Mhm.
but I haven't talked to Dane about it either. And I know I have looked at them and we've all done it different, and Dane hasn't questioned anything, so. I don't know if it's a big deal or not.
It's not, all right.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I guess Rod and I really haven't talked much about Cory. Did you want me to, it's gonna have to go back to forestry.
Right, I know, but in forestry last time, they were gonna check with Rich on whether or not we could nominate someone from the pool who applied before.
Oh,
Or if we have to
you want me to reach out to Rich then?
Did you, yeah, I don't think you
Yeah,
have
not
numbers, but or not, but they are back with Rich.
Okay,
So, because it would be nice to have that on the
okay.
agenda.
Right, it'd be nice to have some clarification on it, and maybe it's such a thing that if we can pull from the other applicants, we can
Okay.
fill a position then.
Yeah.
Okay,
Except for,
Right.
We can spoke.
okay.
so that's probably not how they can do it if it's simpler.
No, yeah, I agree with you.
If Rich replies,
Oh, okay, all right.
that would be.
Whatever makes the least amount of sense.
This
Yeah.
week, when is he usually here?
Tuesdays.
I would say you guys do whatever you need to do to just get that position filled, and
We would put it on the agenda and then, I can talk to Heidi as well. And then, just put on the agenda and then take it from there. So either you can,
Yeah.
Then we'll know, we'll either do the agenda item or not.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
Do we need to make a motion about an update for a new member to forestry or not?
no, that's their thing, that's not our thing.
Okay.
It's in the minutes. I looked it up. that
Okay.
We were gonna check with Rich on whether or not. we could
Okay, I'll check on
nominate
that.
from the same pool or not. but-
Yeah. I will check.
Jared was supposed to do that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
No, well, it doesn't mean.
And
it's
he-
land, but-
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, anybody got anything else? I think we're through the agenda, so. Next meeting date,
So you guys are third Tuesday, you mean? They won't meet till the 21st then, of October.
okay, yeah,
First is on a Wednesday, so.
So when is the board meeting? October, it's not till the 28th, is that right?
21st.
21st would be the third.
The county, yeah, and then the county board would be the 28th.
So generally, we meet the week before.
So you want anywhere between 13, somewhere in there.
Yeah, so forestry's gonna be 21st.
I can tell you, I don't, it's the week of the 6th, I will not be here.
I think that the week of the 13th probably makes the most sense.
13th.
Yeah, Mondays are working before.
Courthouse closed Columbus Day, I bet. No?
They don't. take
Yeah.
Columbus
They
Day
don't,
off.
they don't want to.
And they found out he wasn't the one that discovered America.
The Monday the 13th?
Okay, and that would be,
Day or Tuesday.
Yeah.
102.
Monday is open,
Good. Monday works best for me.
4:30.
At the big room?
This is kind of nice here too.
Yeah, I don't mind this at all.
Huh?
I don't mind this, but
I don't either.
I like the chairs better than the other one.
You feel more important.
Okay. I
The
have-
backs are higher.
I have that, that's what I have now. The big
at the big room?
one.
Okay.
Yeah, LEC.
So when we decide the 13th,
4:30.
October 13th at 4:30. Okay. All right, I guess we'll stand adjourned.
Okay.
Can you stop that? See, it says leave on there. You guys do it.
Right hand corner. Right. Should say.
right?